All right. Greetings. Welcome back to Blackbird News, where everything is connected. How you doing? I know the buzz is still there, still present. Who knows when the buzz will go away? Oh, there we go. Hey, that was kind of magical. We'll see how long that lasts. What's going on, guys? Greetings, welcome, thank you. Got an after hours tip from Obsolete Optics, who says Operation Buzzkill continues, aka buy Kevin a new audio interface. Thank you, Obsolete Optics, for the tip. I actually need a new cord. I think my problem is a cord, which shouldn't actually be that expensive, right? Shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. All right. I'm starting right on time today and gonna jump right into it because I have to be done right on time or a little bit early. So there's plenty to talk about today. Here's some evidence that climate science has been around for a long time. I know people like to think that it's something that people just made up a couple years ago or 20 years ago, or, you know. Not true, right? Not true. The people have been saying for a long time that, well, if we keep doing these things, something not so good is going to happen, right? This isn't, you know, and it, when you have these warnings from so far back, even as far back as Plato, turns out that Plato was a bit of a Malthusian and also understood ecosystem destruction by too many people doing too many things. Totally understood that. Plato. Anyways, you go back through recent history and you know, even farther back, all the way to Plato, you can see that people understood the connection between human activity and bad outcomes, right? Too much human activity, too much bad human activity and bad outcomes. It's kind of obvious, actually, when you get right down to it. But this is a post from Joseph Wood from All Our Yesterdays. 66 years ago today, 1957, January 23rd, New Zealand scientist Athol Rafter warns about the consequences of carbon dioxide buildup. This is from a newspaper, looks like, saying, hey. And in this article, it says, since 1860, he said, an industrial effect had taken place due to the large-scale burning of fossil fuels such as coal, which had constantly added appreciable amounts of carbon dioxide gas to the Earth's atmosphere. By 1960, the amount added during the last century will be more than 15%, he said. And guess what's happened since 1960? If you're looking at that graph, it goes straight up. There was no abatement. There was no, like, maybe we'll calm down. There was no... There was no taking it down a notch. There was like, let's do some more. There was a whole lot of that since then. And again, even despite the supposed fear-mongering by climate changers, even despite the wild and to a lot of people the wild and fear-mongery warnings, or the things that never came true. Even despite that, despite all the warnings, we keep going in the opposite direction of the warnings. So, and we've been going in the opposite direction of the warnings for decades and decades and decades. There is no abatement. So I don't know. Right now, I think is a crucial time in the realization. There's going to be a lot of things revealed in the next few years, I believe, because people are just going to realize, and people are realizing that, well, based on actual observations, it's kind of hard to keep going with the we're entering an ice age, or the models show you're incorrect, or it's hard to keep going with that one because it's clearly we're getting warmer, and clearly something is wrong, and clearly something is amiss, right? So now the new tactic is to admit that yes, well, we're warming the planet. Yes, we're warming the planet, but you know what? Maybe we'll be okay. Maybe that's the new one. Maybe that's not such a big deal because 50 million years ago it was really hot. Oh, thank you, Perceptions Today. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out. We're just talking. Yeah, good to see you. I'd like to see new faces on the call-in app. Yeah, so right. It keeps on going despite the so-called warnings, despite the evidence and the warnings. There is no abatement. Oh, I was going to play this, or not play it, but read it. According to a certain billionaire, we'll be lucky to stay under 2.5 C. Life will be better than ever. Of course, Mr. Gates has no clue what he's talking about, but the new type of climate denial is plain to see. Shop till we all drop. Yeah. I was just playing a clip from the other day, right? When what's his face? Steve Koonin was on Jordan Peterson's show, and he was like, yeah, we're just going to lose a little GDP, but life is going to, we're humans, we're conquering, and we're the bestest, and we're doing the mostest, and we're going to keep on doing the mostest, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be a little bit warmer, but it'll be okay. Okay. I don't know. Considering the really crazy weather swings and extremes and kind of dire signals from the planet, considering the very scary signals that the planet is giving us right now at supposedly 1.3 or wherever we're at, 1.2, 1.1, 1.5, I don't know, you pick the temperature. We're right around there. Considering what is going on with this temperature that we're at right now, you really think that another 1.2 is going to be just fine and okie dokie? You think that's going to work out? I mean, okay, if that's what your big bank account and your big brain is telling you, fine. I guess you have a right to your opinions. I've been wanting to cover this for a long time. This one has been floating around my files for a while. Last nail in the coffin. Utah's Great Salt Lake is on the verge of collapse. Say what? You know that it's been going down, 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 like all the other major lakes in the west, in the southwest. Things aren't going so good. The Great Salt Lake has lost 73% of its water and is unable to sustain some wildlife and could soon negatively affect human health. Whatever do they mean by that? Emergency measures are required to avert a catastrophe in Utah's Great Salt Lake, which has been drying up due to excessive water use. Really? A new report warns within years, the lake's ecosystems could collapse and millions will be exposed to toxic dust contained within the drying lake bed unless drastic steps are taken to cut water use. You know that they're not allowing people to film at Lake Mead anymore, right? Lake Mead is stupefyingly low, and now they're like, well, we just won't allow people to come in here with the cameras anymore. And that way, nobody will see what's happening, and that'll be the answer to that problem, right? If nobody knows it's happening, I guess it's not happening. Anyways, a team of 32 scientists and conservationists cautioned the lake could decline beyond recognition in just 5 years. Their warning is especially urgent amid historic western megadrought fueled by global heating. To save the lake, the report suggests 30 to 50% reductions in water use may be required to allow 2.5 meter acre feet of water to flow from streams and rivers directly into the lake over the next 2 years. So, reduce your water usage and maybe the lake will replenish. Poppy Davis says, I think Gates meant that staying under 2.5 C is the best we can possibly hope for, but well, I mean, I don't know whether that's out of context or not. I guess so. Although, it's still not good, right? Just staying under 2.5 C is still not good. And what's to say that are we gonna stay under 2.5 C? How are we gonna do that? I don't know. Does anybody have any answers for that? Anyways, we really need to increase the speed of our response and also increase our ambition for how much water we restore to the lake. Despite growing political momentum, Abbott said that existing policies and action plans will not be enough to save the lake from collapse. Already the lake has lost 73% of its water. That's a whole lot of water. And 60% of its surface area. That's a whole lot of surface area, as trillions of liters of water are diverted away to supply farms and homes. As a result, the lake is becoming saltier and uninhabitable to native flies and brine shrimp. Eventually, the lake will be unable to sustain the more than 10 million migratory birds and wildlife that frequent it. Declining lake levels could also make magnesium, lithium, and other critical mineral extraction infeasible within the next 2 years. Dust from the exposed lake bed could further damage crops, degrade soil, and cause snow to melt more quickly, triggering widespread economic losses for Utah's agriculture and tourism industry. Oh my. Toxic sediment laced with arsenic from the lake bed can exacerbate respiratory conditions and heart and lung disease and could increase residents' risks for cancer. The last nail in the coffin is where we're at, said Kevin Perry, a University of Utah atmospheric scientist researching the Great Salt Lake dust. In parts of Utah that already suffer dangerous air quality in the summer and winter due to wildfire smoke and vehicle emissions, dust from the lake threatens to bring year-round pollution, Perry said. The climate crisis, which has increased average temperatures in northern Utah by 4 degrees Fahrenheit, since the early 1900s, is further imperiling the lake, fueling more severe droughts and heat waves. But studies suggest that only about 9% of the lake's decline, due to evaporation and runoff, can be blamed on climate change. Well, that's good and bad, right? Well, only 9% of the decline is based on is due to climate change. So, what's the problem? Climate change is just a symptom, y'all, right? You know that. Climate change is a symptom. A legacy of water overuse is the main threat. There are too many people sucking all the water out of the lake. There are too many people cutting down the truffula trees. Or the tuffula trees, whatever they're called. There are too many people trying to suck all the rare earth minerals out of the ground. Or the oil, or whatever. There are too many people chopping down the very last of the old growth forests. It is a symptom, ecological destruction, climate change, etc., whatever you want to call it. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of what? What's going on? Well, here's an interesting story from Japan. And um, people are a little nervous. Why are they nervous? I don't know. Birth rates are going down. Whatever shall we do? Prime Minister warns Japan is on the brink of being unable to function as a society because of its falling birth rate. I mean, this goes against the idea that people are really actually worried about overpopulation. They're actually worried about underpopulation. And that's the real concern, right? Elon Musk has said this. Other people have said this. They're concerned about underpopulation because if the population actually goes down, most likely the economy, as we know it, collapses. Oops. I'm trying to drink from two different cups of coffee, one of which does not exist. Anyways, Prime Minister Fumio, that's a good name. Fumio Kishida warned Monday, I'm thinking of the sustainability and inclusiveness of our nation's economy and society. So he's saying the low birth rate puts Japan on the brink of being unable to maintain social functions. What? He also says it's now or never to stop a shrinking population. God, they seem really concerned about this. I don't know. Should we keep going? I want to read these articles. Aren't giving me much. Oh. Anyways, he pledged on Monday to take urgent steps to tackle the country's declining birth rate, saying it was now or never for the world's oldest society. Our nation is on the cusp of whether it can maintain its societal functions. Let's read more of this on Reuters, or maybe Reuters will not allow us. Maybe. Kishida said he would submit plans to double the budget on child-related policies by June. That a new government agency to tackle the issue would be set up in April. They are really they want to go. We need more babies, and that's not just Japan. That's pretty much every other Western nation, including the U.S. Japan saw a record low number of births in 2021, the latest data available, prompting the biggest ever natural decline in population. Yeah. Well, so there are people that think that maybe we have too many people. And there are people that think that we don't have enough people. or if we don't have enough babies, it's going to be a problem. Well, it's going to be a problem both ways. It's going to be a problem, right? It's going to be a problem on both sides. But the thing is the truth is that population is going down from all kinds of factors, right? Environmental factors, societal factors. D-Truth says too many men in makeup. Maybe that's part of it too. But and then there's other things going on too, right? There's people dying due to medical procedures gone wrong. all kinds of things. Sperm count, says Clayton Halligan. But so it seems like the planet might be taking care of the problem of too many people cutting too many truffula trees down. This planet is just going to take care of it all on its own. Right? The planet is just going to go, well, I don't know. You guys couldn't figure it out for yourself, so I guess I'm going to take over. Unfortunately, you can't fool Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is also not very nice when she needs to not be very nice. Sometimes Mother Nature is not very nice. Kind of like God, right? I know I'm just going to make people mad, but you know. No one knows, you know, God's plans and all that kind of stuff. And nobody knows why God does what he does or nature does what she does. And sometimes those things are actually not so great, right? Because, you know, I actually kind of I actually believe in nature as God, right? Nature, natural laws, things that you can observe and touch and whatnot. That's God to me. And nature is pretty miraculous, right? All right. I mean, couldn't pick a better God than nature. Nature is wondrous and miraculous in her ways. But nature, you know, has a way of letting you know when you've overstepped. Sometimes that way is not very nice. Unfortunately. But that's, you know, it's funny because all I hear from one side of the independent media is like they're anti-human. They got an anti-human agenda, and they want to take us out. They want us to go down in population size, and they have this whole thing going on. But every news story I see about falling population decline is people in a very panicked state, right? Leaders, billionaires, and businessmen going, "Uh-oh, man, we got to have some more kids right now." Because this is bad, right? So it's like, what? Well, who, you know, do you really know what they want? Because it seems like publicly they're kind of saying this isn't going to go very well if population keeps declining. Or maybe it's just, you know, two different ways of seeing the same problem. But what's up, William? How you doing? Hey, William, how you doing? Oh, hold on one second. I think I have a. Hold on, sir. I think my cord is not working. That's why. Okay, let's try again. Can say? No, sorry. Hold on. Well, I can hear you. I can hear you, but it's not. Hold on, I've lost the. All right, hold on one second. You want to try, William? No. Oh, Jesus. Hold on, guys. I have something going on with my sound. Let me see if I can fix this. All right, William, can you try again? No, dang it! I had this happen. You can hear him on call, but we hear him. I can't hear him through the thing.
Okay, let me hang up
Oh,
and try again.
there you go. There you go. You're on. You're on.
We got it. We got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. All right. All right. Hey, kudos to you for being able to do a show with all that handyman work going on in the background and keeping your focus, first of all. Gotta
It's all
hit
good.
it, too.
Yeah, I didn't mean to give. I forgot to give you guys a heads up that I'm having a little work done to the house, and so just it's just background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. How you doing, William?
All right. Listen, first, I'd like to address, you and I have talked about resource allocation.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tremendous misallocation of resources in this country based on what? Profit motive.
Right.
So regarding population reduction, that's an issue, but we have also, without addressing the resource misallocation, we're missing a big part of it.
Yeah,
you follow me?
I agree. So,
mm-hmm. And we've covered some of those things before.
Yeah.
And the first one being the U.S. military industrial congressional complex using up all those resources. And to my shock, you guys telling me, you and the other caller, that their gas isn't even counted in the emission levels. I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What? I mean, talk about being propagandized by our government in every way you can think of. Do you follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. And the top 1% using 70 times more resources than the bottom 50%. So until we address those two major extremes, everything we do in the middle is going to be basically stompled on. Do you follow me? And yet we do have numbers. And like you said, this alternative media platform is bringing things to light that we've talked about at length. And there are repressed technologies that we are very aware of, that like HTC, hydrothermal carbonization, and the Tesla turbine, which doesn't require steam generation, but just water running perpendicular to plates. There's all kinds of Stanley Meyer's water car. He was killed and his car stolen out of his garage.
Right. Right.
The hemp car, which was for Henry Ford, the Tucker. There's all along the way. There's been oppression of efficiencies and things like that. So we're battling that. And education is the key, right? Knowledge, first of all, because of course, like George Carlin said, they don't want an educated public. They just want a bunch of dumb drone workers. I'm paraphrasing, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. Our education system's broken intentionally. It's not broken, it's fixed. Do you see what I'm saying? It's rigged.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing is, like, the workers, what are the workers doing? The workers are making things for people to buy, right? Generally. Or they're providing services to people who are buying the services. And so it's hard. It is hard. Because there is a direct correlation to the people that are part of the system, they're in the system, and the people that run the system. It's hard to see it as a whole, right? And I know that we, yes, if we allocated resources more evenly, I do believe that things would be a lot better. I absolutely believe that it would be a lot better. I just read a passage, from the book. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, about if everything, all resources were split evenly among 8 billion people, and also if people were willing to live with a whole lot less, that people could actually get by and be just fine.
Oh, yes.
People would be just fine. But it requires those two things, right? Splitting up the resources evenly, and people being willing to operate with a lot less, right? It wouldn't be everybody gets 3 cars in the driveway. It wouldn't be everybody gets, all the things you could possibly desire. That's not how it works. But and there's another quotient in there that I'm sure that I'm forgetting, right? Like,
well, I can add a couple of things. Design obsolescence. and a fiat-backed currency which runs a debtor economy, which requires more and more sales to prop up basically a bankrupt economy. Do you follow me? So,
Yeah.
so of course, we had the razor blade that got up to 5 razors. Remember that? I mean, did you ever try using one of those, bro? They just clog up, you know?
10 razors. 10.
Oh, 10. We need 10 now. Is there actually one that has
It's as big as my face. I just need to swipe it once and it shaves my whole face.
unbelievable bullshit, too? It's a fucking nightmare to try and shave with one of those anyway. You know, you're constantly trying to rinse it and bang it out. Give me the single edge, you know what I mean? I could open up the thing, you know what I mean? Open up the blade holder and clean it, you know? It's crazy, crazy. Same thing, you pick any technology. Oh, my cell phone right now, it was free when I signed up with a carrier, and it is what would have been a Starship cell phone several years ago. Do you follow me? It's only got 32 gigs of random internal memory. You know what I mean? It's only got a SD card holder that'll hold 100, whatever the hell it is, some limitless amount of storage, and it's got more power in my hand right now than they had to send a mission to the moon. Do you follow me? And you know. But people need more technology, more technology. It's all marketing, right? You know this.
Yeah, it is. And I think, well, it's part of the reason why they're so afraid of population going down. I mean,
Yes.
because they understand that they need your energy. They
Yes.
don't, not your energy just to work and supply the labor, but they need your energy to buy and purchase the
Right.
things. They need your energy to pay the taxes and keep the system going. They need your energy for so many different reasons. And so if they lose this this worker / consumer base, well then, I don't know. Maybe they're just waiting for the robots to come in and start. Well, we get a big crew of robots. They'll make all the things, and then we won't need you guys or whatever. But I don't know that is necessarily going to do everything that they think it's going to do. But maybe maybe that's what they quote unquote they envision as the future, which is like.
Well, I think we can look at automation, see how it's exponentially progressed in the last couple of decades. Look at the auto car manufacturing assembly line, for example, with robotics. Look at there's many ways we can look at this and examples we can see of technology replacing workers. That's for sure.
But you also need somebody to actually buy the products, and that's the thing is I don't, even if you replace all the workers with robots, well then who's going to buy the things, right? You actually might have to prop up a population of consumers, because even the wealthy can only buy so many things and use so many things and have so many things, right? Like you need, in order for businesses to run and make profit for these uber wealthy people that want to buy and have all the things, you need consumers, right? You need somebody out there going, I'll take that for $1.
Yeah, but you consider this too, though. Factor this in for the future. When we have the World Economic Forum, their mantra is "you own nothing, have no privacy, and be happy." That's on their own site. And when humans become cyborgs, I'm not making that crap up. That's their plan. So when Yuval Noah Harari was asked about this, he said, "Well, by 2050, 80% of jobs will be replaced by AI." That's what their target is. They're working through this through Neuralink, through all the technology they're working on, and so he said, well, then he was asked, what will people do? And he said, well, it'll be the meta universe in drugs. That's his words. That's not mine. He's a spokesperson for the World Economic Forum, Kevin. You could check that all out. And BitChute has a great sort of channel on that, because you go to the West, and I've seen videos that were there that can be hard to retrieve and or will cycle within the first 10 seconds and kick over and over again, never get into the 40-minute video. You follow me? It's not an internet connection issue.
Okay.
So they're kind of out of themselves, and now they're putting lipstick on a pig. Where they had Yuval Harari talking with Andrew Yang about UBI, and Yuval Harari, they're trying to rehabilitate him, writing a children's book. I mean, it's all marketing.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of evidence that shows that the WEF is not, their marketing is failing, right?
That's a good thing.
And people are seeing through them, and people are realizing like, nope, not these guys. These guys
Right.
don't have the answer. Um,
Right.
but just because they don't have the answer doesn't mean that climate change is false. And it doesn't
Oh,
mean
I
that it doesn't
yeah.
mean that we have serious resource allocation slash consumption issues. Right,
True.
we have serious issues to figure out, and all of those are real issues that we have to figure out. But these guys are just not the ones to figure that out for us.
Oh,
So
they're the ones.
that's the thing that people need to get clear on. But we're also in a time of great confusion where things are going to fall apart, kind of more quickly as time goes on, and people are just going to be it's just going to be a bunch of like, well, it's their fault, no, it's my fault, no, it's your fault, no, or it's not my fault, screw these people, and everybody is compromised, and nobody is real, and everybody's fake, and nobody, none of this is real, and everything's fake. And it's like, okay, I mean, we gotta get on some solid ground about like what's real and what is fake, right? We're at a point where everybody feels like everything is fake.
Yeah, well,
It's like,
there's order.
Sure.
That's a mantra, order from chaos. That's a Hegelian dialect. You follow me? That's the mantra. Create the problem, provide a solution. Do you follow me? Problem. What is it? How's that go?
But I'm not talking about necessarily create the problem. I'm talking about there are actual problems.
No. What I mean is, but they've created the problem. These are the same people who suppressed hydrothermal carbonization, who repressed all these technologies. They are the ones who got us here.
They're the ones that took out perfectly working trolley cars, electrified trolley cars, so that everyone could drive cars. Right. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
And that's all they're going to do in the future regarding whatever it is they think they're going to fix on the planet. Right. It's just all about like 3-card Monty, sleight of hand, and like we're doing this for the benefit of the earth and for you, and they're going to do the opposite thing. But
don't you recall the statistics that have come out? A $50 trillion. Sure, there's been financial reallocation from finances, but it's not trickled down. It's siphoned up. $50 trillion before the pandemic were the reports. Now you have trillions and trillions more, and many more millionaires and billionaires increasing their wealth while they drive this thing we can't talk about on YouTube. You follow me? And that's not by accident.
No.
That's part of the design. The Ukraine war, the foreign wars are financed and created to create better nations through the IMF and the Bank of International Settlements.
Right. Right. Well,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Careful with the Ukraine thing too, because YouTube had a big old banner the other day.
Oh.
Any kind of something about Ukraine.
Yeah, right.
I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna be careful about that one, I guess, too. So
isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, but
I hear you.
Ukraine is a war that's happening in Europe. That's all I know.
That's all we can say.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's good.
Thank you, William. I gotta jump off and finish a couple of more things. I'm gonna get out of here a little bit early.
Can I say one quick last thing, please?
Absolutely.
Okay. Go, anyone interested, study Davos 2023, what their agendas are putting forward regarding the prick and regarding, misinformation. That'll open your eyes up. You'll be like, oh my God, we're moving into the totalitarian fascist dictatorship in Orwell 1984. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, brother. Thanks for taking the call and entertaining my thoughts. I appreciate it.
Thanks for calling in, William.
You're welcome. Bye now.
All right. Did y'all see this one? The rotation of Earth's inner core might be reversing. I was like, okay. Not that I don't believe it, but I'm just like, well, just add this one to the list of issues going on in the planet Earth, not just on the planet Earth, but in the planet Earth. And if the Earth is warming, why wouldn't it actually affect, if the seas are taking in, if they are taking in so much energy, so many millions of nuclear bombs or atomic bombs every second, why wouldn't that a little extra heat kind of start throwing things pretty much inside and outside the Earth off track. And a lot of people also have been talking, for quite a while about the pole, the magnetic pole reversal and how devastating that could be to the planet. I myself don't know a heck of a lot of the about the magnetic pole reversal, although people have sent me like lots and lots of reading on it. But I don't know how seriously to take it or not. That's what I'm saying. But but all I know is that it won't be good if it's actually happening. Right, a magnetic pole reversal would be bad. So, anyways, the Earth's core. International team of researchers have discovered evidence that suggests that Earth's inner core may have recently stopped spinning, right? The inner core spins before reversing its rotation. Is this, I have so many questions about this. One is like, okay, you guys have evidence, how Caleb says I don't believe this. And when I first saw this, I was like, do I believe this either? I did have that question. And that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, is this an actual story that's really happening? Or is this one of those like, look out guys, there's an asteroid. It's, 8 miles. It's got an 8-mile rotation around the Earth, but, it could veer off course and smack us any second, right? Like, anyways. But they are saying that this possibly could be a sign or something, attached to the magnetic poles moving. While it may not destroy all life on Earth, all life, maybe just most, the reversal might result in some changes to Earth's own rotation. Oh, that can't be. That's not scary at all either. Paper of the new study was published January 23rd in journal Nature Geoscience. It has effects on the magnetic field and the Earth's rotation, and probably the surface processes and climate. So it affects kind of everything, guys. If the Earth's core starts rotating backwards, then nothing will change, I'm sure. Xiaodong Song, a seismologist at the Sinoprobe Lab at the School of Earth and Space Sciences of Peking University and co-author of the study, told the Daily Beast in an email, hard to say good or bad, but something to pay attention to as part of the Earth's global change. You got to love scientists, right? They're like, oh, that's all very interesting. Right? Oh, look at this. Look at this. The Earth is tracking off course over the next century. It's all very interesting. This is intriguing. This is fine, exactly. When we talk about Earth's core, we're typically referring to two things. The outer core, which is liquid and made up of molten iron and nickel, and the inner core, which is a solid ball of iron-nickel alloy. The inner core is separated from the rest of the Earth by the outer core, so it rotates differently as well. Since it's a giant ball of metal, it carries its own electrical current that creates a magnetic field that surrounds our planet and protects us from cosmic radiation. Without this magnetic field, Earth would be a barren, irradiated wasteland. So studying the core isn't just a pet project to better understand how Earth behaves. It's also necessary to clue us in on potential changes that could affect life on the surface. Okay, to reach their findings, Song and his co-author, Peking University research scientist Yi Yang, measured changes in both the waveform and travel time of seismic waves from earthquakes that passed through the inner core since the 1960s. There's a lot of data. They discovered that temporal changes in the waveform shape simultaneously and consistently disappeared around 2009, suggesting that the inner core stopped rotating. Whoa. However, Song said they also observed a slight but robust opposite trend in waveforms, which suggests that the inner core might have begun reversing its rotation. The authors believe that this could be part of a 7-decade cycle in which the core spins and reverses. Did y'all know this? I didn't know this. This cycle coincides with the changes in Earth's magnetic field. Uh-oh. But Song adds that we haven't seen a full cycle of the predicted 7-decade oscillation, and the team will be pursuing more recent data to test models and predictions. Luckily for us, the researchers also explained that we're not likely to encounter any world-ending scenarios. The reversal also won't strongly affect Earth's magnetic field, resulting in a pole reversal where north becomes south and vice versa. The inner core rotation is more likely to be related with the periodic fluctuation of the magnetic field changes. The fluctuation is too small to change its sign from positive to negative. Okay. You guys feel relieved now? Feel better? I don't know. So, just another thing to consider about the near or the semi-near future of the planet Earth. I don't know. There are a lot of people that are very serious about the pole reversal happening. There are plenty of those folks around saying, "Oh, it's totally, it's going," and saying if the poles reversed, that it would be absolute chaos. Right? It would really, imagine the effects of climate change just multiplied, and not very fun for the people who are still alive on planet Earth. All right. Astromaster says, since this is the perfect planet, the universe will reverse humans out of here if we don't act better. Possibly. All right, guys. You know what? I'm gonna wrap it up. You know what? Maybe I'm not gonna wrap it up. Hold on before you leave. Got a couple more tweets that I meant to cover. I don't know. Just some more bad news for you. I know you love bad news. It doesn't have to all be bad, but Dr. Otterface, that's Kristen Mattis, said the majority of people in the U.S. don't realize that the powers that be have politicized science and medicine. Oh my. Few people follow the science or comprehend its manipulation and uncertainty in real life. They just follow their team. True story. I like this tweet. That's why I'm reading it. You can only begin to see clearly when you're not on either team. And we try as our bestest to not be on teams on this channel. We do. G. Demmer says, how can a flat Earth have a core? That's a good question. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. Everything's fake. Space is fake. Earth is fake. Birds aren't real. That is the weirdest conspiracy theory ever. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a joke. They're it's like it's like QAnon for I don't know who they're targeting, but it's a kind of like it's like more of like a hee ha 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 joke. Birds aren't real, right? It's like I think it's the intention is to make it seem like anybody who believes conspiracy theories is an absolute lunatic, right? Birds aren't real. Ha 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 ha. It's like a tongue-in-cheek hardy har, look at us believing that birds aren't real and they're actually like this government, and mountains aren't real either. And it's just like, you guys, yeah, I don't know if I really appreciate that. Max Headroom says, people should learn to make hooch at home. Seriously, it's a good thing to barter with and not that hard if you were all that mechanically inclined. I mean, they make wine in prisons, don't they? Yeah, maybe I don't eat drink, but I don't know. Probably not a bad skill to have, right? If you can make some alcohol for people. Here you go. Here you go. I got something to drink for you. I got some booze. I mean, I give people booze all the time. I don't drink, but I'm a hell of a bartender. Clayton Halligan says it's funny because China has bird drones that spy on people, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that there are drones that there are insect drones that exist. They're real. They're already made and functioning drones, right? So they have these drones, and I wouldn't doubt that they have bird drones, but so it's just a you know I don't know what you want to call it. It's just another way to like screw people's minds up. Like, oh, birds aren't real, but like, who knows what's real and what's not real? You gotta keep your eyes open, right? You gotta stay woke, as they used to say. All right, people. Thank you so much for your eyes, your ears, and your conscience. I forgot to even mention all the places that you could support the show. buymeacoffee.com/blackbearnews. It's on the screen right now. If you can see that, that's a good way to support the show. I'll check them right now and see if anybody has given me any coffees today. Not any as of yet. Rockfin is also a good way to support the show. Obviously, YouTube tips are cool too. I've also in my description added my Venmo and my Cash App. So if you guys want to donate via Venmo or Cash App, that's in the description of all the platforms that I'm streaming on right now. So, thank you in advance, and thank you to all the people that have supported me along the way. I appreciate it. All right. That does it for me. Thanks, guys. I'll be back at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and until next time, peace.